So I'm recording this today, a day earlier than when it's released, which is tomorrow. None of that means anything at all to you. But the reason why I'm recording it now is because today is the last day for me to get stuff done. Because tonight, a video game that we've been looking forward to for a very long time is coming out, and I am planning on pulling an all-nighter playing video games with Mr. Soap and Clay, and probably will be doing that also all day tomorrow. So this is coming early. What I'm doing here. You still see it on the same day. You get it. That, of course, has nothing whatsoever to do with what we are making today, and what we are making today is fun and weird and crazy and probably the weirdest video I've ever filmed. And we're just all going to be along for that weird ride. And I'll tell you more about that weird ride in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 254 of 365 days of soap, and today we're doing a test / business building / recipe day, and I don't know how any of it's going to go down. I really don't. So here's what we ultimately decided to do today. You remember back in the day when I gave you a recipe for some toilet bombs? Some toilet cleaner foamers that foam up to the brim and you clean your toilet and it's beautiful and it's awesome, right? On that video, I received a number of comments. One, from people who live outside the United States saying that there must be less water in their toilets because they weren't getting it to foam. And two, people saying that they wished I would have filmed the actual toilet, because I did point out in the video, I'm not going to film the toilet because that felt weird. And enough people commented and said that they wanted to see it in action, and I thought, hey, opportunity to give the people what they want in that regard, but two, an opportunity to maybe play around with the recipe and see if we can get a bigger foam out of using some different products. Now, with the original recipe that I gave you, we did a soap nut extract as well as concentrated liquid soap within a bath bomb recipe, minus the cornstarch, upping the citric acid, want that big powerful fizz right away. In this recipe, we are not doing the concentrated liquid soap and we are not doing the soap nut extract. Instead, we are going to use a soap nut powder, which you might also know as aretha powder. Now, I've used this in many soaps before and haven't super talked about it except for in the clay videos wherein I've super talked about it. So I'm curious to see how this works, because aretha powder is known first and foremost to be a nice foaming agent. But in my knowledge and in my history, it really only works in warm water conditions, and we don't have warm water in our toilets. So this will be a fun test, and if it's a good recipe that ultimately works the way that you want it to work, then it's going to be awesome for you and you can totally take it and run with it. So let's get to the video. I will show you the process and the ingredients and all of the jazz, there, as well as showing you my toilet. Okay, so first up, probably the weirdest video I'm ever going to film. Next up, here's the recipe. 2 cups baking soda, 1.5 cups citric acid, 1/4 cup of aretha powder, which is soap nut powder. See? Soap nut. And we're doing this for a very good reason. One, because people have been asking if they can use the powder, and excellent foaming properties and all of the jazz, natural detergent, etc., etc. So I thought, well, we're gonna try that, because I've never actually put the powder in, because it looks like that. And normally I don't put any colorant into my toilet bombs, right? And so if you don't put colorant into your toilet bombs and it's just this natural brown, does that feel weird? Dropping a brown thing into a toilet? Like you already drop brown things in. Never mind. But anyway, in addition to this, we are going to put in 1 tablespoon of a lightweight oil just to help everything disperse nicely, 1 tablespoon of water to help everything stick nicely, and 1 tablespoon of whatever essential oil blend or scent blend that you want. I really like using very, very potent scents for my toilet bombs, bright, clean smelling things. And so I'm going to go with peppermint oil for this guy. But as you can see already, this color, even mixing in, it's still going to be brown. And so if you wanted to go the soap nut route, assuming this, works and is something that we want, I would recommend putting some colorant in to make it maybe like orange or something, right? Like less brown. Just a thought. I don't think you're ever going to be able to get, using soap nut powder, like a blue or a green or some other color that we commonly associate with bathrooms. I don't think that's how colors work. But I might be wrong. You might be able to do it. Anyway, so back to the reason why this is such a weird video and the reason why we're doing this at all and doing new testing. Well, in my last toilet bomb recipe thing, I had a lot of comments from people that live in places other than the United States, talking about how their toilets, don't have hardly any water in them, and that they had tried this recipe, the original recipe, and it didn't foam all the way up to the lid, like I said happened with that recipe here. And 2, their sub comments were, maybe you should have filmed the toilet. And so we're doing a new recipe, which is a test. People have wondered and asked, but we're also filming the toilet, because we're going to see how it works together. We're going to do all of this together, and it's going to be a fun, weird time. Now, what I just put into this was the 1 cup of citric acid. Now, as you know, with my videos, if you've been here for a minute, I always put citric acid in absolutely last. It's the last thing I do, especially when there's water in the recipe, because, no fizzy liftoff in the bowl. Now, the molds that I use for the toilet bombs are the same molds that I use for the kids' bath bombs, the same size. You obviously do not have to make them round. That's not going to actually impact how it fizzes and, whatever. But I use this because I have these molds. These molds, I believe, are the 60 millimeter molds, and the finished product weighs between 3 and 3.5 ounces when they're all, firmed up and cured. So I would recommend keeping your toilet bombs at that weight, regardless of what mold you use. That anywhere between 3.5 ounces, that's going to be enough product to actually fully, foam up and clean your toilet and all of the jazz. So we talked about the benefits of using the soap nut extract in the last video, and we also did, not only that, but we also did a liquid soap concentrate toilet bomb, which was amazing. And as I said, foamed up right to the rim, and I have wholesale clients that buy these by the thousands and love them. Not these, but the old ones. But to that, I don't know how other countries, toilets work. And so that was cool, awesome information that I got in all of that. And if they have less water or they have less of a flow in their toilet, like a low flow toilet, so therefore less water, it might not be doing that. So I thought we'd test this, and also test it on the toilet that has the least amount of water in it in my house, because it is a low flow toilet. And the rest of them have not been replaced yet, but that guy has. So we're gonna do that. We're we're gonna film a toilet. You guys, this is the weirdest video I've ever made. Did I already say that this is the weirdest video I've ever made? Because this is the weirdest video I've ever made. I'm going to film my toilet for you. I feel like we're getting more intimate in this than we really need to. But, you know, for science, let's film a toilet. It's normal, right? I would like to also point out, again, for the umpteenth time, this was requested, the filming of the toilet. So we're going to do that. But also, it's a good test because I don't actually know if this soap nut powder is going to be any better or worse or whatever than using the soap nut extract plus the liquid soap concentrate, right? So, you know, we're going to do that now. Okay, now a batch this size actually gets you 8. Why there are 7 there, I don't know. Also, this is an important fun thing to pay attention to. You see how they're all warty and bumpy and not good-y? Well, that's because they took on extra moisture from the room. So you can see where the little thing was that I rested it on, and you can also see how they sort of weeped around that. And so, not great. What I would do, because I just noticed that my room must be very, very humid, I would eliminate the water entirely. I think you'll be fine doing just that, for sure. And so let's go test this in my toilet. And also, you don't get to comment on the fact that my floor is dirty, because yeah, it's dirty. I literally cleaned my whole bathroom after this, but you don't clean the floor first. You start from the top and you work your way down. And I sped this up quite a bit because, the cool thing is about toilet bombs is while it's foaming and fizzing and doing its cleaning thing, which is probably how everybody cleans their bathroom. They put the toilet cleaner in first, and then you go on and you know, clean the mirror and then the sink and the counters and the walls, and you get it. And then after all of that, then you clean the floor. Top down cleaning. I feel as soap makers, we all know how to clean. So, because we probably like cleaning. Anyway, point is, this takes about 3 minutes to fully fizz out. And so I sped all this up a lot to, you know, hopefully, my hope was that I would give you this really cool, fast, you know, foaming thing to go up to the rim of the toilet. And that didn't happen. This is not one that's going to go all the way up to the rim of the toilet. And also, because of that soap nut powder, the actual fizz is kind of a weird color, right? But I mean, it's just a color that we're not used to. So as far as whether or not it's good is up to you and what you like in your cleaning things. I do like, however, that some of the soap nuts did not fully dissolve, which makes sense because the soap nut powder does tend to dissolve better in warm water than cold, but it led to a nice, very mild abrasion while cleaning, which would be great for people that have like hard water, and so they get hard water stains like the ring around the toilet. It would be really great, and it's such a fine grain, really gentle cleansing agent that I don't see that it would have any problems actually scratching the, you know, the porcelain, unlike something like steel wool, where you have to be really, really careful. But as far as it actually getting fizzy enough all the way to the top, we need to go back to the drawing board with this, guys. We're not going to be able to get this particular product to go all the way to the top of the bowl in a low flow toilet. So we're going to try some more recipes, you know, really, really soon. And there it is, another way to do toilet bombs. And yeah, this one did not have the foam all the way to the rim like the last one did for me in my tests. So for that, if that's what you're looking for, this isn't really gonna work. Second, the coloring of it, because the Aretha powder is brown in color, you end up with brown toilet bombs, and that might seem a little weird. So if you wanted to, I would consider putting in a little bit of colorant. Thing about putting colorant into toilet bombs, though, is I'm going to be concerned that they're going to stain the ring or stain the actual toilet. And so I am hesitant to do anything like that. But if you're okay with the brown color, that's fine too. Speaking of staining Let's also talk about abrasion. The texture and the lightweight properties of Aretha powder. It's very, very mild. It's a very, very mild, gentle exfoliant. So I actually think it would be a really good thing to include in a toilet balm recipe because it'll really attack those hard water stains that you can get around the ring. And it's much less damaging to the actual porcelain than something like steel wool would be. So I think that's a really good thing to think about including, as long as you're okay with the potential of like little brown fleckies still ending up in your water. I didn't see that when I flushed my toilet, but as you saw, but I think it probably still can happen. So there's that. This was definitely a lot of fun. We are going to do this again. I want to keep playing with this recipe, so look for another recipe in a couple days. We're going to swap out some products, maybe work with some SLSA, maybe work with, we're gonna see. So I have some recipes brewing in my head that I also want to try, and so you can be along for that weird ride too. Go ahead and let me know in the comments if it was too weird that I filmed a toilet. That felt weird, really did. I appreciate you guys for joining me today. I hope you learned some stuff. I hope you had some fun. And you know, if not, okay. But for those of you who did, hey, consider liking, subscribing, all the things. That would be awesome. For those of you who already like and subscribe and all the things, hey, Sudsers, you're awesome. Thank you for being you. And yeah, you're awesome. That's it. I've got Borderlands on the brain right now, so I'm definitely ready to go play some Borderlands. I am out of here for today, but I will see all of you guys again tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Bye.